Joining us today is the Superintendent of Public Education in the state of California, Mr. Tom Torlakson. Mr. Torlakson, thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here, Esdras, with the Oarsman.
So, 50 years ago, Mexican Americans in East Los Angeles started protesting the CTE classes that were given to them due to their race. 50 years looking back later, students are still walking out. However, the perspective has changed. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I think it's so important for students to exercise their voice when things are not right, to stand up and say they're not right and take action to correct matters. So the recent boycott, the recent march against gun violence, the boycott in memory of the students in Florida and Parkland is so important that students took action. And here at Venice High School, they took, I think, very progressive, positive action, both commemorating the lives and remembering those who died in the tragedy, but also registering students to vote and also having discussions about what else is needed to stop gun violence, like more mental health services.
For those of the viewers at home who don't know what career technical education is, can you tell us more about it?
Sure. Career Technical Education, CTE, is hands-on, minds-on learning, as I call it. It's learning with a purpose, connected to the real world. It's looking at your future career. What would you like to become? An engineer, a nurse, an athletic trainer, a pro football player. There's so many choices, but what we see in the Career Pathways programs is students become very motivated. Their graduation rate, regardless of ethnicity and background, poverty or not, they graduate in high numbers, like 95%, because they're motivated and they see the relevancy of their education. And here at Venice High School, you have a couple of great career pathway programs and focus on career, and it gives purpose to learning and keeps students wanting to attend school, wanting to graduate, wanting to go on to something better, whether it's college or directly into a career.
So now that our sports medicine program has been recognized throughout the state, do you think that that's going to spread throughout the state and even perhaps the nation?
Yes, I think it will spread. I think it's a role model program. It's so well constructed and so well planned. It's outstanding. I was a high school track and cross country coach for 25 years. My athletic trainer that helped my students, if they had an injury, help them, rehab from the injury, to help guide our students with good nutrition, good physical exercise. This is all so important, and the need is, greater than ever.
This year, Ms. Kristen Farrell was awarded the award of Teacher of the Year of California.
Yes.
As you're aware, she's a CTE teacher as well. Is it a surprise to you?
No, it's not a surprise. It's just a wonder to be able to meet her and see her, to come to the school where her magic is working all the time that she's here, and to meet students who are inspired by her. So I think it goes along with this idea of hands-on, minds-on learning, and she does a great job of motivating young people, teenagers here at Venice High, about their future. It might be in sports medicine, but it might branch out into nursing. It might branch out into being a doctor in a medical field, a researcher that finds a new cure to cancer. So these career programs are really great at getting kids excited about school.
Back to the topic of CTE. As technology such as computers become more advanced every year, are you in favor of merging technology with education?
Absolutely. I think technology is a game changer. It must be used properly. It can't be a substitute for a real teacher that inspires you and knows who you are as a person, shows respect to you. But the technology, the computer applications are amazing in terms of learning English language, learning Spanish language, learning mathematics, learning the right formulas for writing a good sentence and paragraph. So technology is here to stay, and I've promoted it. We've put $1 billion into the schools to help them buy more computers, to have one-to-one computing capacity. And we want to have capacity of the internet at home too. There's a digital divide. Many of our students can't afford, they don't have the family budget to support internet service, so they're left out a bit from the benefits of technology. So we're trying to find ways to lower the costs for families to sign up, how we can get free Wi-Fi access to students so that when they're at home or over the weekend they can continue their studies.
On a more nationwide perspective, under this new administration, do you think education is progressing more or regressing?
I've been disappointed about proposed cuts by the president. I've gone back. Cutting after school programs to me makes no sense, because that's where kids can go after school. They can be in a safe place, not getting into trouble, but they can also enhance their music, art, and drama skills. They can have science. They can have fun activities at that after school program. The president proposed cutting from California about $150 million. I went to Washington, I spoke to Republican Congress members, I spoke to Democratic Congress members, and they blocked that move by the president to cut those programs. There was also a proposed cut to teacher professional development, just at a time when teachers are seeking more professional development to become even more effective teachers. We blocked that cut as well. There have been some harmful cuts, but I'm glad that Congress is standing up for education and for preserving the important funding for our schools.
And lastly, as you approach the end of your term as Superintendent of Public Education in California, what do you most reflect on, and what will you be doing next?
Well, I'll be working with kids in schools. I love teaching. It's just a natural thing in my family. My dad was a teacher as well. But I'll stay active. I'm proud of our work on career technical education that we talked about, bringing graduation rates from 72% to 82%. Career tech programs, 95% graduation. And I've also done a lot on bilingual education. I'm going to be having a major initiative at another school here next week in Los Angeles, talking about the 2030 plan to have half of our students in California know 2 languages by the time they graduate from high school. We live in a global economy, so bilingual skills is really important.
Thank you so much, Superintendent.
Thank you, Ezra.
Thank you.
Yes.